first hai cái quan trọng á, on the first đoàn á là you want to find out who's going to be your đội trưởng, who's going to be your phó, who's going to be your quartermaster. So what from my experience á, a new group of kids á, my đội trưởng á, right? Either you pick the strongest one or the second strongest one. That's an option, right? And the quartermaster, I usually pick the strongest one, the one that carry the most water, the one to pair, right? Tại vì cái đoàn mới, you have to be the one selected. There's no vote. You selecting ai đội trưởng, ai đội phó, ai quartermaster, which is the three most important positions for a man.
This is a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so this is our typical camp, right? On Friday night, right? We would tell them the story when before we go on a hike, right? Again, let's go back to observation. I would tell them what to bring and prepare for the hike, right? Pretty much in detail. But I don't do what's called a rollout where we check that every kid has water bottle, every kid has a backpack. I don't do that because I need them to forget it and then complain that I don't have water, right? Then they'll never forget when they really need it, right? The key thing là go back to observation. Những cái gì mình làm á, I'll use challenge. Hey, look for 7 flowers that morning on that hike, right? How many flowers you gonna see that day? How many different birds you can see? So always try to challenge on observation. Mình làm rất là simple, không có gì serious. We just give them a challenge, right? Again, I mean, I'm glad everything that was pretty cool, but the short hike is around an hour. We don't worry about the mileage when we show off on Facebook and we show off in front of the kid. We say mileage to make them feel proud. Tại vì when a 10 years old can do a 10 mile, when 8 years old can do 10 mile, nó có cái sự hãnh diện. Nhưng mà we said, hey, a 10 years old said, hey, I just did a 8-hour hike. Nó không có relative time. Nhưng mà cái 8 mile, 10 mile, they did. No more proud. So normally from trưởng point of view, it's always about hours. How much time they can last in water, in hiking, in anything, in kind of weather, right? So always measure safety by time. How many minutes they expose in sun, how many expose in cold, how many minutes they expose in the water. We will go by time. The kid doesn't really think like that, right? But as an adult, for safety, we look at time, right? Again, if you notice, everything here is about observation, right? And we try to find which one is, that's it, is not observing. And those are the ones that we're going to work on more. We spend more time with them, help them observe more, right? Hướng Đạo mà không có cái observation skill giống trò chơi kim, right? Is an observation mode. Knots, tying knot is an observation. Yes, cái byproduct là biết cục nút dây. Nhưng mà cái training method của cái knot á, để dạy mấy em observe, hand-eye coordination, right? And that's why we teach them. It's for hand-eye coordination and observe. The byproduct that they learn how to do it not useful, right? Again, we try to pay attention who in camp always bring proper gear, proper uniform, who doesn't. Okay, this one is so important. I have a child who never always forget hand quang, always forget uniform. I have a child that comes to meeting in the camp perfect uniform, but he's so scared of everything. Right? And a child who forget everything, who will be the first, whiteboarded charge into anything, right? So you have to just pay attention to a small detail like that. Sometimes a child who's perfectly looking, but freeze up on anything that's new, anything he can't plan, and we have to help him with that. Be flexible, right? To the outside environment, right? And so just because they look perfect doesn't mean that internally they're like that. It could be very chaos for them internally. So we got to pay attention to that. So again, đội trưởng to me, the one who bring proper gear, Khoa làm đội trưởng, right? Tại vì gương mẫu, visual look, right? So mấy đứa khác nó sẽ observe by look, right? And so I usually make them đội trưởng right away because they look good, right? Nhưng mà usually be careful, like trong they need help, right? Again, the quartermaster, I usually find the one that strongest, right, and second most prepared. I made him quartermaster. Quartermaster đối phải rất là quan trọng. More quan trọng đội trưởng in some way for safety purposes, right? Tại vì quartermaster, he is sometimes my right hand guy who carries stuff in and out. I know one time my back was hurting. Joseph was carrying some of the load out for me, right? When we did a backpacking trip. So the quartermaster is physically fit, right? But also very prepared, right? Đội phó, yeah, strongest physically would be assistant assignment control. Thằng này strong. The problem với thằng này á, nó good nhưng mà nó không muốn responsibility, right? Nó strong, nó smart, right? They can get there, but no more responsibility. That's the problem. So if you put the Jew, he'll reject right away. But you put the Paul, say, fine, I do that. But he can be better than Jew in certain skills, right? And so, yeah, that one you got to pay attention to each kid. Again, go back to the night hike. Cái night hike at the beginning, make sure that it's not cloudy, có mặt trăng. So on a well-beaten trail, có mặt trăng, the trail will glow. Once your night vision get adapted to it, không có dùng đến. Nếu mà mở đèn pin lên á là mình mất cái night vision, mình không có thể hike buổi tối được. It take like 5 phút for Dali to go back down, right? Nếu mà cầm flashlight nhìn map á, dùng cái red flashlight, right? So that mình không có mất cái night vision của mình. Mà nếu mà có mặt trăng á, mấy cái trail mà người ta đi nhiều á, cái cát bụi nó lên, the powder sand go up, nó glow at night. You can see the difference between the grass, the ditch versus the trail, right? So those are the tricks for night hike that mình không cần lo lắm. So make sure that the night is clear to do it when you don't have experience. But the stars is enough, but you don't have experience. You need the night clear. Yeah, cái goal là teach them use the night vision. Không có dùng beam. That's the goal, right? Campfire after hike again. Yeah. So usually I do the night hike after the campfire, right? And so that before go to bed or before eat dessert, right? Nếu mà no moonlight or starlight thì lúc đó mới dùng flashlight, right? But usually we use red flashlight. Remember, red flashlight is important. Nếu mà không có red flashlight mình mất cái night vision của mình, and become dangerous when you hike at night, right? Cái này là rất important nào. Cái trail mà mình walk has to be a well-beaten trail. Do not go off trail. Cái chữ mà why are we going off trail? I say that to kids and navigators so many times, point men so many times. So they want to go ahead and call point men. So why are we going off trail? That I get very frustrated, right? I always want to stay on trail because it's safe. There's no point to go off trail, right? We're not in the night. Huh?
Not at night.
Not at night. Not even in the morning. I don't like it when people go off trail. Okay.
You learn to take shortcut.
Yeah, that's for a different game and challenge, right? But I don't tend to like it, right? So again, once you go to the 13 method, and finally we'll talk more about the challenges, right? The shot face.
Cái này nói rồi.
Yeah, say it.
Same stuff.
Same.
Okay, cái này nó quan trọng.
I'll go back that one. That one's important. There. Okay. Set up camp activity that Hướng Đạo do, not parent. So most of the stuff I try to ask what the kid do, but if the kid is new, I would make that decision with the kid. But it's very important. If the parent put on a uniform, that's a different story. Okay? But if the parent don't have a uniform on, try not to get them involved in the program too much. Okay? Cái này rất là important. Right? We have a rule, right? When the parent put on a uniform, even my child call me Anquan, not daddy. My daughters know that. When I have a uniform, they have a uniform, I'm Anquan. Right? And it will be the same thing with any other parent. Không gọi chú bác, cô cháu, anh chị hết. Right? And that's kind of...
Ở đây bạn ăn về.
Hả?
Mà hơi ăn gì?
Again, even all the camping that we do, we always go progression, right? We always do progression in our partners. This one right here, so important. I talked so many about this. When we tear down the camp, pack to go home, the kid has to be the one to tear down the tent, load the trailer, clean the camp, not the parent, not even washing the dishes. It has to be the kid, right? This one, please, if you put on a uniform, make sure the parent don't help with this one, right? Because it defeats the purpose of us taking them camping, right? The only reason we take them there is that they're going to work together as a team to get something that they don't normally do at home, right? So don't let the parent wash dishes, You know, sometimes you cook because you're hungry and you want to cook quick. I can understand, but other than that, tear down the camp. Make sure the kid does.
Cái trưởng khoa.
Okay, let me tie it together a little bit. Okay, nhắc với trưởng ha, là hướng đạo á, cái principle á, sáng nay trưởng Hưng nói á, là one of the main thing á, là we let them experience. Now they have to have the experience, but we build character. And so this is it. Okay, cái này là cái main process. We allow them to have the experience, and we build their character by having them do it and then increasing the difficulty slowly. Now, buổi sáng đi lần, buổi tối đi lần khác, không có lại. Now, that's stressful in many different levels, right? You're physically disoriented, you're mentally disoriented, and then you're emotionally afraid, right? Because the kids are afraid of the dark. I bet you some of you are afraid of the dark too, right? If we put you out in the route tonight, right? You guys gonna go, right? Okay, so but learning to deal with that, okay, it builds your character, okay, and that's the key thing. And the hiking process is just a template, an example. Okay, you take that process and apply it to all the other activities. No one it could be the same. This time you know something dễ, next time you know something khó. Lần này làm trứng, next time you làm bánh chưng. Right? Well, you know,
Which we do.
There's a lot of steps in between, right? Before you get to bánh chưng, right? But the principle is the same. You apply it to hiking, camping, you know, climbing, cooking, whatever. Okay? So then later on, so now take that process and then into real life, right? Which is what you want.